Okay, we're going to learn a couple of new tools here. We're going to learn the trim tool and the offset tool. So we have our previous drawing here. We need to move that out of the way and start a new drawing. Again, you can continue to draw in the same document. That might make it easier for keeping tabs on everything. So we're going to move that out of the way. You'll notice that these dimensions are significantly smaller than our last drawing. And so when we start to draw, what we're going to find is we're going to need to zoom in order to be able to see what we are doing. So one of the things that we need to do is we need to start by drawing one of our features. And then we'll use that in order to create all of our other features after that. So first thing we'll do is we will use the rectangle tool and we will create a square. So the center of this shape is a square that is 4 by 4. So we'll type in 4, tab, and 4. And you'll notice that it is a very small box. And now we'll just zoom in on that. And you'll notice that the box is a double box of sorts. So this is where we are going to use the offset tool. The offset tool is this one here. It looks like a C within a C. And what the offset tool does is it just creates another shape that is going to allow us to perfectly distance and orient our new shape. So I'm going to click offset. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to specify the offset distance. So the offset distance here is going to be 0.5. I'm going to enter. What it's going to do is it's going to say, well, which objects do you want to offset? I want to offset this square. And I want the square to be on the inside. And now I have two squares. Perfect. I'm halfway done. Now what I need to do is I need to create a rectangle here. Now this rectangle has to be perfectly centered on the center of the square. So the first thing I have to do is I have to find the center of the square. There's many different ways that you can do this. I'm going to use the offset tool in order to do this because I like the offset tool. I find it to be very easy to do this way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, first of all, select all my boxes and I'm going to explode them. So this is the explode tool. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click that. And now what it's going to do is it's going to take each individual piece of the square and make it separate. Before it was all together. So this is going to be necessary for when we use our offset tool. So what I want to do is I want to find a cross that is right in the middle of these two, of this square here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go halfway between this line and this line. Since I know this is 4, I'm going to go halfway between there, 2, and so I'm going to offset 2. I'm going to come here, and I'm going to go right there. Now, I still have my command as offset 2, and since this is a perfect square, I can just go up here, and I can offset 2 there. And so now I have the center point of this square. Okay, so what I need to do now is I need to come out and I need to make a starting point for my next rectangle. My next rectangle is going to be 7 by 2. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and I'm going to offset from the center 3.5. It doesn't matter which way you go. You can go either way. And then I'm going to come up from the center 1. Next thing I want to do is I want to extend this line all the way over here. So what I could do is I could use the line tool to just come and draw there. Or what I can do is I can use my extend command. So the scissors, the trim is something we're going to be using in just a second, but if you click and hold the scissors, it gives you another option. You can extend. And so what I want to do is I want to extend that line there. So that's the point that I'm going to use to start my new rectangle. I'm going to grab my rectangle tool and I'm going to come over here. I want this to be 7, tab 2. There we are. Now I have in here a lot of lines that I don't need. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a second. I'm going to get rid of those lines. I can get rid of this line. These are just reference lines and I don't need any of them anymore. All right. What I do need is I do need to offset this rectangle. Come in here, grab my offset tool, type 0.5, and there I am. Almost done. You'll notice that I have the two shapes that I need, but there are additional lines here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the trim tool. So we switched over to extend for just a moment. So I'm going to go back to extend. I'm going to click and hold until it comes down. And now the trim tool. So what the trim tool does is it allows us to delete the line segments that we don't need. So I don't need this line segment. I'm going to hover over that line segment and I'm going to see it disappear. Same thing there, here, and there. And now I need to do the same thing here, here, and here, and then here, and here. And there we are. Now I have my shape. I can quickly dimension all of it. So what I'm going to do is, whoa, did you see how big the dimensions were? Those are still from the last one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my dimension style. I'm going to go to modify. And I remember that this was at 0.18 before. I'm going to switch it back to 0.18 for symbols and arrows and for text. 0.18. Okay. So now I'm going to click here and here. I have my 0.5 in there. I'm going to click here and here. 0.5 there to here. One year. Here. And we're done. I'm going to hit save. Command S. Then I'm going to export to PDF. Oh, see how small it is? I'm going to come back here, expand my working area, zoom in on that, file, export to PDF. Looks much better. Save as PDF. Your number will be different. Saving as number 3. I can check, and there's number 3. The black dot tells me that I have unsaved changes, so Command S, and I'm good to go.